The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Why, hello there, and welcome on into the stream. Welcome on in, chat, yes. Once more, we do the damn thing. Once more, into the breach. And I'm excited to be doing it with you. And I hope you like it well done. Because I do it well. And also, too, I know what's really on your mind, chat. I know what's pressing. I know what we really need to discuss. And it is Warhammer. I know. Listen, it's the Warhammer balanced data slate that just came out. I'll explain it. Don't worry, everybody. I'll explain it. We'll go over it. It's probably only going to take us about an hour to go through it all. So stick around. There's other stuff that we will talk about Marvel. Don't worry. Don't worry. There will be some Marvel discussions. Don't you dare. Uh-oh. Wait, come back, everybody. I'm just kidding. Wait, no, come back. I'm just kidding. Hang on, everybody. Wait. Oh, wait, what? Where all the people go? Anyway, an hour. Yeah. Look, here's what I'll say about it. A little TLDR, and I can't believe my hair. Thought I had it looking good. What the hell? Why is it? Those curls do not look well managed up there. I'm going to be honest. Those look like I don't really think about it or pay attention too much until I see myself on camera. Whee! All right. Anyway, listen, Linda. There's serious stuff out there. Let's talk about this Warhammer business. What's the deal with this? So, as many of you guys know, as we've been talking about, the next edition of Warhammer is on the way. And they just did a balanced data slate update for the rules in the game. Probably what's going to be the last one in 10th, honestly. And it's fucking terrible. It's real bad. Like, worse than I could imagine. So, that's a thing. The Custodes, for whatever reason, I do not understand this at all, seem to be... nerfed harder than some of the other armies that are actually a problem right now. I feel like GW just fucking hates the Custodes. So that is tough. However, Tau, my little fish boys, they are looking crazy. They're about to take over the fucking game, I think, in the last few months of 10th edition, so I'm pretty excited about that. But, god damn it, GW. What a bad update to go out on 4th, 10th edition. Seriously, not that cool. So if you guys want me to, again, if anybody wants any more details or explanations of that, you know, throw it into the chat, ask me. I'm more than willing to totally divert today's stream and talk all about Warhammer. If you want, no big deal. You know, you guys decide whatever you want to do. It's cool with me. So there you go. I know we should probably get that right off of the bat. Rossi, thank you for the rose. Zach says, my name is Dome, and I'm saying goodbye to the goon. Don't threaten me with a good time. Much love, Josh. Nerd Vengers for life. Hey, man, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so you could probably see on the thumbnail and in the title, we will be talking about the whole James Gunn situation. The sort of, you know, this happened a couple of days ago. I don't remember. I think it was Monday when Campia dropped that video, his initial video response to the whole situation. My God, bro. Seriously, probably should have fixed my hair. I need like a stylist, somebody that's like, hey, let's make it look like you're a professional when you go on the cameras and stuff. But anyway, the point is, John, I think he dropped this video on Monday, and I didn't really think too much of it, but it has really blown up. It has gotten a lot of coverage. A lot of folks have talked about it. A lot of high-profile accounts are talking about it. And the other thing that happened with this Campia thing that I do think is kind of wild is the chronic online master of the Goonverse himself, James Gunn, has not commented on this story at all. And we know he is chronically online to the point that he's actually like searching his name on obscure social media platforms and whatnot, right? So it's just, for me personally, I do think it's a little bit odd that Gunn has not chimed in on this story at all yet. It's definitely getting around. And so I did want to sort of talk about that. I ended up going in and watching the video that John did. He had like these 5 points as to why he thought Gunn would walk away. And I figure we'll throw that up. We'll watch the video, at least that portion of it. And I will kind of give my take on all the 5 points that Campia brings up, because this might surprise you guys, but like, I don't agree with John. However, it is odd that Gunn has not chimed in on it. So it's pretty weird. Let's see here. Lord Tex Vengerant 420, thank you for upgrading your membership. Appreciate you. Chris says, Heather Vengers Unite. Yeah, that's another thing the universe has thrown at me as a test. Yes, it is being reported out there, chat, that Heather, the worst Marvel character ever, she saved herself, is going to have a couple psychological scenes in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So we'll get into that. I'll complain a little bit about it. It's, well, it's just one of those things, chat. So, yeah, we'll get into that. Zach, thanks for a gifted membership. The female ranks are dragging down the Custodes. I know. Isn't that kind of funny? It does. I mean, for as much as GW is trying to, like, I don't know who they're really trying to appeal to with female Custodes. You would imagine some females, I guess. Even though they seem to be doing this for like representation and to try to get more women into it, they have undercut and actually added to stereotypes the entire way. It's kind of funny. Caitlin says, can anyone tell me why Father Lantum has yet to make an appearance in Born Again, and we keep seeing Heather? I need Doomsday to calm me down. Yeah. We got some Doomsday news actually too. We do have some Doomsday news. We'll get into that. Dude, it's going to be a full stream today, which, again, I really should have probably made sure my hair didn't look like absolute shit. But fuck it, we ball, because, dude, we do have a lot to get into today. So, lots to get into. A lot. But, again, if you want me to, I will just go on a tangent and talk about Warhammer, if you would like. Snyderverse back yet? It literally looks like it does every single day. Well, no, that's not true, because I'm autistic and notice. But thank you. There's a few strands that are frayed and disorderly. You probably didn't notice. I did. But thank you. Probably because he died in season 3. What? He dies? I actually don't remember that. Does he die in season 3? I mean, I think even if he did die, who cares? Like, the point that Kaylin is making is correct. It is a correct one. You know, there is kind of something to a character like Matt Murdock who has faith and who believes in a certain spiritual authority on morality because he believes in God. And a character like Heather, who seems to be a materialist, a realist, and also a psychologist. That is a little bit interesting, you know, but whatever. Warhammer sucks. I watched the Warhammer video and I'm still not convinced. What? Why do you think it sucks? What's your issue with Warhammer, Michael Bell Jr.? Maybe we can work this out. You know, what's your issue with it? Lanterns teaser, bro? Did they just drop a Lanterns teaser? No way. Is that for serious? Is that for serious? Ooh, girl. Wait, what? It's 10 seconds? No way. Oh, the trailer tomorrow? Okay. Wow, you know what's kind of interesting about this, chat? Oh, this is kind of nice. Okay. Hey, how about that? Shit is happening. I got to tell you, man, a lot of shit is happening right now. I'm genuinely pretty excited to be here with you guys today because there's a ton of awesome things to get into. We will touch on the Gunn thing, of course, but the throne stuff is so cool. There's some really cool Marvel stuff out there. I know there's some people painting the Doomsday leaks in a super negative light, which I think I can address, I guess, at one point in today's stream as well, if you guys want me to, because, you know, I'm not really watching what these other people are saying, but I know there's kind of like fake leaks out there, but there might be this question, or maybe you're wondering, like, am I concerned? And the TLDR is not at all. And actually, the more that these accounts sort of spread the word that Doomsday is like, there's no depth to it and it's like a weak story, like, you know, there's no emotional resonance, it's all just fan service, like, it's kind of what I think is being implied. The more that fans will be shocked and blown away by the actual movie, because I know I know a lot about what the movie actually is. These people are just wrong. But that's okay. So, you know, look, maybe we'll talk about that. But anyway, check this out. Sorry, ADD's kicking in hard today. ADD's kicking in hard. All right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. Why is it so thin? Like, I get that it's for a mobile, but like, why did they choose that aspect ratio? That's literally like TikTok. Like, what are we doing here? All right, let's check this out. Ooh. Oh. I kind of like the sound effects. Let's watch it one more time. Let's check it out, and then we'll kind of break down our thoughts here. Okay, pretty crazy. So this is one of those classic teaser trailers for a teaser trailer, but it is cool nonetheless. So getting people excited. The official trailer for Lanterns drops tomorrow, which is really good for DC and for Paramount and Warner Brothers, because there's bad news out there, which we will discuss later on as well. But let's, for the time being, just focus on this Lantern show in general. The thing that jumps out to me right away, looking at this design, is there were leaks back in the day about hats, different hats that the people that worked on the show received, and it was this exact design. What a lot of fans pointed out was the symbol in the center of the ring seemed to be some kind of a tease to the center. And this, I don't want to like get way too nerdy here, but there's like some leaks and some internet detectiving that has led people to believe that like what Gunn is really doing as the macro or the Thanos of his whole thing has to do with like the center, or I forget what it was called, the island in the Darwin Cook New Frontier thing. I forget what that was called. Maybe that is the center. Maybe I'm thinking of the same thing here. But that was that's sort of an idea that's proposed out there. Seeing it like this on the actual ring, though, I don't know. I mean, it could be. It absolutely could be, but it is strange that like the actual rings themselves would have that symbol on there. I thought that was more of like a logo for the show, which was trying to imply something kind of weird. But either way, this is cool. Now, look, let me just tell you this. Despite what happens with James Gunn, no matter what happens with Warner Brothers or DC, this show, The Lantern Show, is incredibly important. This show, to me, had better be pretty good. And the main reason is that I think the Green Lanterns are awesome. The lore from DC Comics surrounding the Lanterns is so freaking cool. They are truly a unique DC thing that is awesome and completely underutilized in live action. And, you know, the Reynolds Green Lantern movie did a lot of damage, like made studios kind of not want to touch that character or that world. And I think we're like one more bad project away with Lanterns from them vanishing from pop culture or the live action comic book thing for basically all time, which sucks ass. So I really am concerned that will happen. However, this show in and of itself, everything we've seen from it seems really cool. So we've seen this little teaser trailer, and then there was a singular scene that was shown in a sizzler reel for HBO Max late last year. That included a really cool little scene, though, where you have Hal Jordan telling Jon Stewart, "You're not ready unless the ring says you are," and then he puts the ring on the dash, drives the car off the cliff, and like duck and rolls out of it, and John like falls, and he has to like get the ring, and he'll probably like fly up on the cliff or whatever. So that was cool. They have a lot of talented people behind this production. And, you know, the HBO thing is interesting, you know, getting a Game of Thrones kind of a vibe, putting that good, I don't know how to explain it. It's like not that Disney Plus feeling. Like it feels like it's sophisticated, feels like it's going to have an incredibly, I don't know if it'll have an incredibly high budget, but it looks like they're taking it serious. So that's cool. However, I think there's concerns that the show will be a little bit too much of this terrestrial Western buddy cop thing and not have constructs, not have Oa, not have the rings or the batteries or some of the really cool cosmic shit that fans love about the Lantern. So there's some concerns there. All of that to say, we're about to find out. The trailer hitting tomorrow is really freaking cool. And I think, depending on what happens tomorrow, this project in particular is going to skyrocket into a lot of like anticipated lists for nerds and just folks that like entertainment, or it's just going to kind of be a fart in the wind and completely disappear. One of the things I'm kind of interested in is how this show will be able to compete with the other superhero shows that are coming out this year, some of them coming out very soon. These shows are really hitting a stride. I'm talking about like Invincible. I'm talking about The Boys. Even Spider-Man Noir, which technically hasn't hit a stride because it doesn't exist. There's no other like previous versions of it. There's a lot of hype and buzz around that. People are excited. It seems like that show's going to do something kind of special. In that world, does this Lantern show shine? Does this Lantern show do enough? I don't know. And I guess the first indication of how that's going to go will happen tomorrow when the official trailer drops. So those are my thoughts on this trailer here and the anticipation I have for the Lantern Show. What do you guys think, chat? Chat, what do you think? What do you think? Might be the coolest ring design I've ever seen, though. It is a fine ring design. The gold is awesome. I love the weathered gemstone kind of a vibe. Yeah, it's definitely working for me. I think that's really, really cool. Now, we've seen, obviously, the other ring that Guy Gardner had, and it did not look like this. So I guess the rings look slightly different, right? Is that what we're thinking? I'm intrigued. I'm ready for it. 6-7. Wait, what? I'm so hyped for Spidey Noir. Me too. High anticipation level for me. The teaser does absolutely nothing for me. Fair. I think the music's kind of cool. I think they're kind of selling you on a vibe. Getting a look at the ring is cool, but if you're not really into lanterns, I get it. And maybe that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Some nerdy things are like this, where as a nerd, there's all this shit you like appreciate about it. And you're like, oh man, like I really like this, that, second and third. But some nerdy stuff just doesn't translate to normies very well. Maybe Green Lantern's just one of those things. Like a guy that can imagine shit and make it into like out of green energy is kind of wild. You know, again, I think it's cool as fuck, but I don't know. They dropped the teaser? What do you mean they dropped the teaser? This is the teaser. Want it to be amazing, but I'm afraid Gunn gonna gun. Well, I will say this. The question about how much of the DCU is actually just going to full on be James Gunn's kind of vibe will be put to the test with this project. This, to me, has the best chance to show to the DC fans that things can exist within DCU that do not have the Gunn tone. You know what I mean? That's what I think. And so, in that sense, yes, it will be important to see, you know, how does this connect with folks, for sure. The trailer was unlisted on HBO, so people might have it. Oh yeah, so maybe it is out there. Let me look. Let me look around here. Let us see, chat. Is the full ass trailer out? I'm not talking about the half ass trailer, man. I'm talking about the full ass trailer. Gunn posted 21 minutes ago about Lanterns and the teaser tomorrow. So I do not see the trailer anywhere, guys. Yeah, I do not see the trailer anywhere. All right, let's do a little tweet about this though. Very important trailer. I want to believe. Boom. Yeah, I don't really see the full ass trailer out there, guys. If you do, let me know. Send me a link or whatever. It's private. What do you mean it's private? Like you can't tell anybody about it? I hope the CGI and effects are as good as Flash. You mean like the movie or the show, television show? I'm more interested in this than Clayface. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I think a lot of people are in that same spot. Yeah. Hell yeah. Surely the budget will be fairly large to afford the CGI for the ring constructs, etc., etc. I wonder if we know anything about the budget. Let me see. Let's find out. HBO. Boom. Let's find out. Seems, just from what I see online, just briefly here on Twitter, people do seem interested. So it's making some waves for sure, man. I don't know. We'll get more into the discussion. I would like to talk more. Oh, wow. Empire's doing some Mando and Grogu stuff tomorrow. Wow. A lot of stuff is being promoted right now, huh? This is the time to kind of sift through it all and try to figure out what do we think of this. Original version of the show before the DC reboot was about to be 120. So there's some analysts that say it's around 100 million probably, which is honestly not that much, guys. James Gunn said the show is the True Detective, which kind of, yeah. So some people are buying into some of the stuff Gunn has said that make it seem terrestrial and small and think the budget is smaller. I think there's a concern. We're about to be buried in nerdy TV for the next 3 months or so, and I'm here for it, even though the watch party schedule is going to be insane. Nerd Vengers for Life, Anomalies, Basement Crew, Unite. Appreciate you, brother. Glad that you're excited and that you're going to have a lot of fun, for sure. So, I don't know, man. I mean, look, this show has the opportunity to be great and really lift up DC. I guess I don't want to like poo-poo it before we get the actual trailer, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Someone in chat posted a screenshot of him watching the actual trailer. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's still not a link to the trailer, though. Yeah, I don't know. I hope this trailer blows us away tomorrow. I'm a bit concerned that it'll be mid, even if it's like high mid. And I'm not sure that like where most comic book fans are, or just like nerdy pop culture fans, I don't know that this show will satisfy that group of folks in the way that maybe DC and Gunn are anticipating that it could. I'm hoping like hell that it blows people away because I love the Lanterns. I need the Lanterns to be like, I need to get some respect on their names, you know? I don't know if that shit's gonna happen though, so yeah. All right, well, cool. That's a fun little beginning to the stream there. Kind of cool. Okay, let's get into more DC stuff, man. Let's get into more DC stuff. So I wanted to talk about a video that John Campia made that's really kind of blowing up right now, sort of making the rounds. People are excited or worried. And Campia basically, I think, put this video out on Monday. It's an 8-minute video talking about the situation with Paramount. Netflix is out. Paramount is buying it. And you know, John Campia basically makes the case that Paramount wants Gunn to continue, but Gunn will not work under Paramount. And in fact, Campia says, or he speculates, that James Gunn will walk away from his position before this deal even passes regulatory scrutiny. And to be honest with you, if you watch the video, which I did, I watched the video, and we'll watch a little bit of it together here with what Campia said. He almost says that he thinks Gunn will not make Man of Tomorrow. He basically is reading between the lines. If you read between the lines of what John is saying, he thinks that Gunn will walk away and not make Man of Tomorrow, which is pretty wild to me. Now, when I first heard this, because a lot of you guys love to come in here and tell me what John says about this, that, second, and the third. I think partially because it triggers me, and you guys are like, did you hear what Campia said? And you're hoping that I like, fuck Campia or whatever, right? But yeah, also because John is a figurehead in the space and obviously has a big platform and, you know, talks about a lot of the same stuff that we talk about. A lot of you guys probably enjoy John's content and you enjoy my content. All good. When you guys brought that up on Monday, I just kind of thought to myself, like, okay, this is probably some clip during a stream where Campia is offhandedly speculating about what he thinks will happen. And therefore, it doesn't really hold much water. It's just like a reaction. It's not like a take. It's not like he's putting together a case or whatever. And that's not what that video was. When you watch that video, it's a video John shoots outside of the show. He shoots it directly for the video itself. And he actually puts together a 5-point argument, 5 reasons as to why he thinks this shit is going to happen. And so I think that's why some people are taking this a little bit more seriously. The only reason I'm making this video right now is because the thing that is kind of blowing my mind is that Gunn has not responded to this yet. It's been a couple of days. And again, Gunn is like a chronic online kind of a person. It's a big problem, actually. I think it has gotten Gunn in some trouble. Frankly, it got him fired from Disney, and then later has gotten him in trouble with, like, I think his own fan base, and it's turned a lot of people off to the point that, like, this is one of the problems I have with John's whole video. Is like, I think John's living in some weird island world where he does not accept the fact that a lot of people are actually not as keen on Gunn as they used to be. And I think there's a sort of fundamental error in how Campia is seeing the entire situation. And so I want to, like, kind of explain that and get into his points on it. But I will say, just in and of itself, the fact that Gunn has basically said nothing. He has not responded to this story in any way, shape, or form in a couple of days is odd. That part is odd. That part, like, the silence is deafening from a Gunn. Now, I actually have a theory here, and this is pure speculation, but I actually have a theory here that Campia and Gunn actually know each other. I actually have a theory that they've played Dungeons and Dragons together at Joe Manganiello's house. And so I think Campia has more, potentially, than just a theory on what might happen here. Now, that part is speculation. So I don't want you to, like, run to the internet and report that as a scoop. But, like, I kind of think that, guys. I do. And so, therefore, this little take from John here is potentially more than a little take. There could actually be something to this, and I would personally be shocked. I would personally be shocked if this happened, bro. You know, I wonder what you guys think right now. Just I want to ask you guys right now, and then we'll go through John's argument here and we'll have like more of a discussion about it. But I just want to know right now, throw it into the chat. Like, do you think Gunn's going to walk away? Like, do you think Gunn is seeing this situation and he's like, fuck this? Like, that's what I want to know from you guys. Do you really think that's what is going on right now? I hope so. Probably not. Yeah, I don't understand why he would walk away. Would be nice. I think he's done. Hopefully, you don't walk away from a universe you just started. No doubt it. Wow. So we're all kind of conflicted on this too. Yeah, we're all kind of conflicted on this too. Okay, so let's watch the takes that John has. I'll kind of give you my takes as we go through these 5 points that John puts into his video.
I'm, of course, John Campia, and we have some absolute madness going on.
Okay, hang on. I need to adjust a couple of things here, guys, including the volume, which is crazy because I have the volume at like half. This motherfucker Campia is loud, bro. All right, here we go. Reason number 3. Where's his reasons? Okay, yeah, I think we're on reason number 1 here.
That the new Paramount is going to be shifting towards a more David. Social media, you know exactly have to. Now, from a purely business perspective, keeping Gunn is the safe move, but.
Okay, I think he's about to get into the 5 reasons here. Let me go to his, Oh, this is that AI shit. I don't want to play the whole thing.
They want the guy who has a...
Okay, all right, let's just go from here. Fuck it. Maybe I'll cut it out a little bit later when I edit it for the Clips channel, but we'll just start here. God damn, dog. Having some technical difficulties, brother. Having some technical difficulties here. All right. Let's see what John has to say.
10-year plan already written down and has already started to execute. Now, from a purely business perspective, keeping Gunn is the safe move. But here's the thing, and I say this all the time, business and creative soul don't always play nice together. And that brings us to the elephant in the room. We have to talk about the culture clash. It's no secret that James Gunn is a very vocal, overtly political individual. If you follow him on social media, you know exactly where he stands. He has been a fierce critic of the MAGA movement and, quite frankly, many of the figures that the Ellison family is very closely tied to.
So let's stop there just for a second. I wonder what your impression of that is. When I heard John say that for the first time, I was like, oh, is it too quiet? Oh, you can't hear at all? Well, that's crazy, because that means my... Hang on a second here. I might have a... You guys really couldn't hear that at all? Why is it so loud for me, then? Why is it so loud? Very faint. Okay, let's play a little bit here. Can you hear it better now? You could hear? I could hear fine? You guys are killing me. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing on this clip, and I did not want to do that. And it's your fault, chat. Now, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Okay? So let's get back into it. I think we got the volume fixed. We're good here. So, chat. Campia just said that he believes James Gunn is like super overtly political. He's very anti-MAGA, and he's made no secrets of that. I wanted to know what your impression of that was. Because when I first heard John say that, right, because I watched this clip earlier as I was prepping for the stream, I was like, what the fuck? Because what sticks out in my mind was like how Gunn handled the question about MAGA at the Superman premiere, which I thought was like flawless. One of the few times I was like, yo, good job, Gunn. And I had to go back and do a little research, and around 2017 and 2018, I did find a lot of more overt things about, you know, Trump and whatnot, right? So I wonder what your impression of this is, because like I don't really view Trump as anti-MAGA at all. In fact, the vice president of the United States, the current vice president of the United States, was actually way more anti-Trump back then, like literally. So I feel like this impression that John is selling here is just like not true. But again, potentially informed by things that we don't know. Right? But frankly, I was watching, I was like, what is he talking about here? You know? Like, what is he talking about here?
David and Larry Ellison aren't just quote unquote business guys. They are major players in the conservative political sphere. We've seen the reports from Variety and Bloomberg. There is a narrative that the new Paramount is going to be shifting towards a more quote unquote MAGA-leaning content strategy. But James...
dude, they didn't quote unquote say that shit at all. In fact, if you look at the exact shit they said, they literally say they feel 80% of the audience exists in the middle. That's what they said. Like, you're extrapolating that to mean they're pro-MAGA. Like, I don't know, man. I think his perception of this is wrong. And frankly, I think his perception of it is very Hollywood. And I think the Ellisons' perception of this in regards to how they will curate the content is moderate. That's what I think. But let's keep going.
Gunn is the exact opposite of that branding. He is subversive, he's irreverent, and he is unapologetically progressive. Can you really see a world where James Gunn happily reports to a board of directors that represents everything he has publicly fought against? I don't care how many zeros are on the check. At a certain point, the creative friction becomes a wildfire. Gunn has already been fired once by a giant corporation for his past edgy humor. He knows how these corporate winds blow. But listen, don't get me wrong, it's not just about politics. There are 5 other major mechanical reasons why...
Okay, let's get into the 5 reasons, but let's also acknowledge that I think the framing here is just incorrect. Like, but to be fair, John is actually speaking to what I think is a large group of folks that believe the same thing. I think when a lot of folks think of like what Paramount wants to do, they do think it's like alt-right. They literally think that any change from what was the status quo to a little bit more of what was the status quo before the shift is like all the way far right. Like, I truly, but I think that is a false reality. Like, I do not see that, but maybe some of you guys do.
I expect James Gunn to hand in his keys by the time his contract expires in spring of 2027. Reason number 1.
So that means he wouldn't make that. To me, I really feel, guys, that basically means John does not think he'll make Man of Tomorrow. Right? Because if my man's is making Man of Tomorrow, like what? Yeah, like, I don't know, bro. This take to me just seems very like emotional and not well reasoned. But let's keep going here. The debt cutter's axe.
The debt cutter's axe. Paramount isn't just buying Warner Brothers Discovery, they're assuming nearly $90 billion in additional debt to do it. To make this work, they've already told investors that they're looking for $6 billion in synergies. And you know what synergies means in Hollywood. It means budget cuts. James Gunn's vision for the DCU is expensive. We're talking massive theatrical slates, high-end TV like lanterns, and a commitment to quality. If the Ellisons start telling Gunn he has to cut $50 million out of the next Supergirl movie or scale back the super films integration, Gunn is going to walk. He's not a cost cutter. He's a filmmaker. He's a world builder. Reason.
So what do you guys make of that, right? So John is basically saying that budgetary constraints will affect Gunn and he's not going to be down with that shit. But I think that's like, I just think that's crazy. First of all, I know Campia himself has talked about how budgets are out of control in Hollywood and how they need to be cut down. I also know that, like, that's just a reality. Like, that industry is changing. So basically what I'm saying is, I don't know of any other place that he could go where they're not going to think about budget. Now, to be fair, maybe Netflix is the least budget-concerned company out there, and perhaps there was a scenario where Gunn thought he was going to get this deal with Netflix, and that was an appealing aspect of why. Maybe he was like, yo, that shit's dope. Netflix is going to be awesome and give us all the money. And frankly, they don't give a fuck about box office, so we're Gucci. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it was all a dream, and maybe that dream is unraveled. But the idea that Paramount specifically will have some kind of a debtor's axe that won't also exist in basically every other portion of the economy, I think is ludicrous. Like, it was bloated. It does need change. And, you know, you talk about Kevin Feige, because he's going to make this point later on about, like, Gunn coming back to Kevin Feige. Dude, Kevin Feige's been cutting budget. Now, frankly, Doomsday and Secret Wars are not really going to be budget cutting, probably. Like, they're going to be incredibly expensive. But the movies leading up to that, he did cut budget out of them. Fantastic Four is one of the cheapest Marvel movies ever made, because he went to Gareth Edwards and specifically talked to him about how to cut cost, because that's a part of the job. You have a fiscal responsibility. So this idea that, like, Gunn, the guy that made a Superman movie for $370 million, that had to use tax incentive accounting bullcrap to say that it made money, which is the fucking report, despite what Campia is about to tell you. Like, it just, like, this doesn't make any sense, dude. This doesn't make any sense.
Number 2, the end of his creative autonomy. You see, right now, James Gunn and Peter Safran essentially have their own kingdom at DC Studios. Under David Zaslav, they had a direct line. But in the new Paramount Skydance structure, there's a whole new layer of tech-focused executives. Skydance is very into AI-driven recommendations and virtual production efficiencies. Gunn is a guy who...
It's just Skydance, though. Everybody else in Hollywood... not feeling that shit. Just Skydance. Unfortunate that they bought DC, I guess.
Likes his practical effects, his specific needle drops, and his creative freedom.
His needle drops? This motherfucker's bringing up needle drops. Talking about creative control and needle drops?
It's getting those notes from tech-first committees about how to make Superman more monetizable for an AI algorithm. He's gone. Reason number 3.
I don't know about that shit either. I do not know about this take from Campia. It just seems so whack. Like, creative control, brother, Superman originally was going to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday vignetting formula. Superman, Gunn doesn't shoot reshoots, right? Well, he did for Superman. Gunn's playing ball. Like, what are you talking about? And his creative vision in this playground. What about the fucking Paradise Lost project? What about the Authority movie that Zaslav said, way too expensive, James Gunn, you fucking idiot? You're telling me Zaslav didn't shut some shit down? What are you talking about? It's commercial art. You gotta play ball. That's a part of the fucking job. You think it's less a part of a job elsewhere in that town than it would be under Paramount? That's crazy.
Mission accomplished exit.
This one's
look at the time.
Mission accomplished. Who is this motherfucker? This guy is George W. Bush. Mission accomplished.
His contract ends in early of 2027. By then, Superman will have been out, Supergirl will already be in theaters, and Lanterns will have already hit the air. He will have successfully launched the Gods and Monsters chapter of the DCU. He can walk away with his head held high saying, I built the foundation, now it's somebody else's job to maintain the house. He's a filmmaker at heart. He loves the Guardians of the Galaxy. He loves Peacemaker. He might just decide that running a studio under the thumb of a massive debt-ridden conglomerate like Paramount isn't as fun as just getting back behind the camera for an independent project. Reason number 4.
Okay, wait. Actually, I'm so geeked out about this. The Moria company. I'm so geeked out about this that, I mean, John's literally making AI logos, like talking to you guys about how AI's bad and Gunn's gonna say no and shit. What was his fucking point here?
He might just decide that running a studio under the thumb of a massive debt-ridden conglomerate.
What's the fucking
somebody
point
else's
here?
Job to maintain the house.
Gods and Monsters. Launch. Okay, so he's basically saying that, like, it's a great time to walk away at, like, the introduction to the whole universe where nothing's completely tied together. What the fuck are you talking about, John?
Chapter of the DCU. He can walk away with his head held high saying...
He can walk away with his head held high?
I built the foundation, now it's somebody else's job to maintain the house. He's a filmmaker at heart. He loves the Guardians of the Galaxy. He loves Peacemaker. He might just decide that running a studio under the thumb of a massive debt-ridden conglomerate like Paramount isn't as fun as just getting back behind the camera for an independent project.
Yeah,
Reason number
definitely.
4, a world of options.
Oh, he's got a world of options because he can hold his head high. I don't know about this one either, John.
As I mentioned earlier, we all remember the incident when Gunn got unceremoniously fired at Disney.
Yes, we all
But
do.
what was the result? Every major studio in Hollywood lined up at his door to offer him whatever he wanted to come and create for them. Now, ultimately, he decided to go to Warner Brothers, and the
Wow, this is so fucking wrong. First of all, I mean, John, in a sense, John is right because when the fallout happens, he does get a lot of opportunity. A lot of people recognize that two things: that there was cachet there because of Marvel and because of Guardians, but also there was like a counter Disney thing that you could potentially tap into there, which is a real thing. And so, you know, when he goes to do the Suicide Squad, and this is before he's brought back, there was a lot of courting. However, the idea that like then Gunn just goes over to Warner Brothers and takes the president job, that's a fabrication. A lot of reporting suggests that number one, Zaslav wanted Feige himself, and we know Feige took the meeting and said no. Then Grace Randolph reports that everybody in town said no to the Warner Brothers job. And the reason why is funny because John can kind of acknowledge that rebooting for a 4th time in 10 years would be really dangerous, and like who would want to be a part of that and who would be the person to take over, right? He can acknowledge that, but can't acknowledge that like that's what made everybody else in that town say no to that job. According to Grace Randolph, Gunn was the last person, and wasn't even selected by Zaslav. Peter Safran was the person that said we should get James Gunn, and then they did it because nobody else would do it. That's according to Grace Randolph. So like this fabrication that John's doing, that because he got fired and then did Suicide Squad and had a lot of opportunity then, and then he just waltzes into Warner Brothers and says, I'll take over from here, David, and pats Zaslav on the head, is absurd. That's not what happened.
the rest is history. James Gunn's
the
stock
rest
has
is history, brother. And the rest is history that we can verify.
only gone up since then. And he knows that as well as we do. And the moment that he walks out of Warner Brothers, his inbox is going to be flooded with offers from everyone.
Do you guys think that? Do you think that his stock has risen and everybody knows it? And do you think that if he were to walk away, he would get all of these offers? I'm actually just like honestly asking, because obviously I don't agree with that, but do you guys agree with that? Like, how could that be? How could that be? So, look, this is why I really think John's perspective is just totally wrong. And I think it's because he's like a Hollywood guy and he's just like, so it would be very hard. Like, man, I think it was a Ben Franklin quote where he said, you know, it's basically impossible to get a person to understand something that the understanding of it would stop him from being able to make his livelihood. Right. And so I think that in a lot of ways, Hollywood people cannot actually accept or cope with how much Hollywood itself and the sort of sliminess of that town and the sort of grossness of those people and that elitist attitude and these elite California folks. I think it's really hard for them to see how that actually does affect how many people choose to support or not support these films. And I actually believe that a big mistake for Superman specifically was to make Gunn the main draw. And it's not because Gunn sucks or he's got terrible hair. It's because what that did was make Hollywood, the director, the creative, this elite person, I'm controlling everything, that whole thing, that vibe just carried over into the marketing. And I think that's why you had a lot of people say it's James Gunn Superman by James Gunn. And that sort of meme developed because Gunn was just so in front of everything, right? And I really actually believe that did damage. So this idea that like Gunn's stock has risen, I mean, I think the only way that's true is if there's just a bunch of people in Hollywood that are as dumb as John Campia, which frankly, there probably are, right? So in that sense, maybe he's actually right. But I think the market will decide, and I think one of the reasons that the Ellisons are an interesting addition into this equation is that I think, for better or worse, and obviously they're shady, you know, basically like Zionists, and like there's all sorts of problems I have with the Ellisons, but I think that they're actually smart in a way that a lot of Hollywood folks are not. Again, as I've just stated, I think a lot of the Hollywood folks cannot see past what they consider to be so cool and what they consider to be so important and sacred. And I think they they don't understand that like middle America and even a lot of moderates in the big cities are over that shit and do not care. And in that sense, I really do believe that Gunn's stock has not actually risen. And I don't think he will get unlimited offers. I just don't. I will say this, though, to give one little bone to John in this part of the argument. I think if he leaves, he will have more opportunities than if he is fired or if all the movies bomb. Like, legit. If he leaves in protest, I think that does sort of give him a certain value and a cachet that he otherwise would not have. Right? So... yeah, I don't know. I just really disagree with this take.
He's going to have a massive all-you-can-eat buffet in front of him. He'll leave, and he'll have his pick of where to go wherever he wants. Reason number 5, the MCU prodigal son returns.
Okay,
everybody knows James Gunn and Kevin Feige have a very close relationship.
They're tight.
I actually had the two of them on my show once together. Gunn even confirmed that when he took the DC job, the very first person he called was Kevin Feige.
True.
And prior to leaving Disney, Gunn was actually elevated by Feige to sort of be in charge of the galactic side of the MCU.
Yeah, the cosmic side, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Feige has changed the industry, but at some point, sooner or later, he's going to move on to new challenges. And right now, there's absolutely no heir apparent to take over Marvel whenever he does decide to do.
So wait a minute. The guy that just wants to go back to making films, the guy that doesn't want to work for a soulless corporation with a bunch of debt, is going to take over the non-filmmaking position of Kevin Feige, brother?
Do that.
I gotta say, they must have really fire weed in California. Like, it must just be fire, dog, because y'all are fried.
James Gunn coming back to Marvel as Feige's main creative general is a win-win. Marvel gets a wildly successful director of MCU films back, as well as somebody who now actually has CEO experience running a comic book film studio, positioned to take their MCU over 1, 3, 5, 9 years down the road whenever Feige moves on to his next challenge. And Gunn gets to work again with a fellow creator he loves and respects in Feige, and is positioned to take over the biggest IP in the movie business.
Oh, for sure.
Eventually. I mean, he may or may not end up going back to Marvel. I'm simply making the point that it is very viable and would make perfect sense. So while Paramount is out there saying James Gunn is our guy, I'm looking at the board and I'm seeing a man who is ready to move on. The politics don't match. The corporate structure is shifting towards tech optimization, and financial pressure is going to be immense. And he's just going to have far too many other better options presenting themselves to him. But what do you guys think?
I think you're fucking ridiculous. I think this is the dumbest take you've had in a long fucking time. And the only thing that explains this take to me is that you know something you're not actually saying in this video, because otherwise none of this shit tracks. I guess I'm wondering, guys, like, I'm really wondering, is there something else going on? Because sometimes these explanations that I guess could be accepted by some folks, because I bet there's even people even now, as I was shitting on all of it, who are like, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, right? Sometimes these wordy explanations are actually just like a really good cover for something else that's going on that we don't fully understand. Because yeah, I just don't get it. You know, I watched the video earlier today, and then I watched it obviously just now with you guys, and I just really don't get it. I think Campia was excited about the prospect of the Netflix deal, and I think he saw a way in which that would fit well with Gunn and elevate his universe and all of that. And I just really don't think that's true. Look, I got to tell you, I think Gunn sticks around. I think Gunn sticks around. I think that they have a few meetings. I think that there are going to be changes. I do think Gunn will have less control in a sense, but if I were the Ellisons, I would just sell him on, I would basically sell him as like, you have your whole sandbox, we're not going to fuck with that, but we're just adding more sandboxes, you know, because we want Krieger to make a supernatural horror movie or whatever. We want to do more DC stuff. And James, you have a lot on your plate already. You're doing your thing. Do your thing. We're just going to do other things as well. I don't see why Gunn wouldn't play ball in that situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't. And I'm a guy that doesn't even want Gunn to do it because I'm not in love with how he's handling things so far. And I'm just telling you guys, like, I really do not see Gunn walking away. If he does walk away, I feel like it's not for any of the reasons John stated, and I feel like there could be something else going on. Maybe it is like that hardline political thing. I really don't see that. But maybe I'm just fucking crazy. So anyway, long segment there. Let's stop the segment. Let's stop the video there, and let's talk for a little bit. What do you guys think of this? Like, look, man, I know I'm not the best reactor of videos, and I tend to get really fired up and, like, triggered by these things. And, like, look, I respect John Campia. You know what I mean? I really do. What John's built is amazing. I just think this is a terrible fucking take, dude. I just think it's a terrible take, and I think it's really coming from a perspective that is flawed. So, yeah, but that's just me. What do you guys think? The question is, what about Matt Reeves? I think Matt is going to do his second Batman film regardless. I think Matt would be open to making his third Batman movie regardless, but I do wonder how some of that creative control stuff would play out. There's a DeLuca and Abdi thing. DeLuca and Abdi, I think, are still in charge for the most part. They're just now working for different folks. So I don't fully understand. No, the reactions are the best. Honest. They are honest. I'll tell you that. That is how I feel with my chest. But at the same time, like, you know, John's not here to defend himself or whatever, and so, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I just think these are really flawed logical reasons. There's like some hypocrisy even within the points he's making. You know what I mean? So I don't dig it. Campia is right to be concerned about the political reasons, but he's projecting things that haven't been stated by the Ellisons. They appear to be on board with Gunn's vision. Yes, I think that's a fair way to say it. That's a super fair way to say it, bro. And I just personally don't see it. And as I've kind of said to you guys too, because there's other people out there. This was funny about like the culture war. Like the culture war really fries motherfuckers' brains, to be honest. Because there's all these other people out there that are like, but they made the woke Star Trek, so it's all gonna be fucking woke, right? And it's like, God damn it, guys. Like, come on. It's not that framing and that dichotomy is literally to make you dumb. It's to take away your IQ points. It's to like have you just see things in this very black and white, you know, way. And it's just not true. That's not like how motherfuckers operate, especially people that are worth billions and billions of dollars, frankly. They literally see themselves as above that conflict. And they can use that conflict to maybe sell shit to us, but that does not mean that like they're pulling the strings for any other purpose than to make money. Did you see the Superman box office went up 8 million this week? I did not see that. That's wild. That's crazy. How did that happen? Did 8 million people see it in the Dollar Theater or something? If Gunn is spiteful enough and jaded, he'll stay. If he's jaded from Disney turning their backs when he was canceled, or Hollywood for that matter, he'll stay. If he's grown, maybe he'll leave. I don't know if it's... Okay, so here's another question I have for you that John doesn't talk about at all. What about DC Comics? Because DC Comics is killing it. It has been bolstered by Gunn. One of the only things I'll give Gunn credit for, because I think he legitimately did a great job, and I think that comics deserve somebody like him in this aspect, right? Doing a great job. And Scott Snyder's fucking killing it. Scott Snyder is way more overtly political anti-MAGA than Gunn, in my opinion, just from what I've seen. I like Scott Snyder. I like the way he handles those situations, but I think it's pretty obvious where Scott stands on that, right? And with that being said, so if Gunn just if Gunn just walks away for political reasons, does Scott Snyder just walk away from political reasons? Does DC just become like bereft of people and it dies? right when it's finally like getting kicked off because they don't like some political shit. Like, I just don't see it. Like, I personally do not see that happening. I think Gunn will stick around and try to figure that out. And if he does, I will give him credit for that, because he basically has two options. One is to just walk away and worry more about his own personal cachet in his career. And the other one is like, try to keep making DC better. That will be difficult, but a leader's job is always difficult. You think he didn't have other considerations and commercial shit happening under Zaslav? For sure he did. Again, we know he changed the Superman movie. We know he did reshoots. He played ball. So why won't he play ball now? Is it really worth letting all of that shit just go away and potentially do a lot of damage to DC overall, just because he has better opportunities and won't be embroiled in what is perceived to be a right-leaning thing? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. Full Lanterns teaser online. No way. For realsies? Let's see. Are you for real? Oh, shit. It is. Should we watch this? Are we gonna get in trouble? Why the fuck did I do a whole segment where we were talking about the trailer before this? Now I have to edit that by deleting it. Fuck. Fuck, man. Okay, anyway, let's react to this trailer. It's all good. It's all good, bros. So as predicted and planned, and definitely not a thorn in my side at all, the Lanterns trailer, the full trailer, has leaked early. Let's now react to it together. Is this trailer going to be the thing we needed? Because as I stated in the earlier segment, when DC officially released the teaser trailer for the trailer, Lanterns is a big deal. Ryan Reynolds almost fucked it up forever. Really need this show to be good. Otherwise, Lanterns might disappear for a long time. So let's see what they got. What do you got, HBO?
With all due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are. All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you. Something is off here.
I haven't seen any
I can feel it.
Black hat.
This is my town.
White hat.
You're a big shot. Noted. Gotta stay the fuck out of my way.
Oh, damn, they're saying F words.
It's the way she feeds them.
This is a stupid plan.
You're crazy, but you're right. Okay. It's giving CW. I don't get that. I don't think it looks like good in that sense. I'm sure Campia will load. Yeah, true. It doesn't look like a superhero show. This did not quell my concerns. This did not quell my concerns.
This is my town. You're a big shot. Noted. Gotta stay the fuck out of my way.
Like, she's cool, and I like the sassy white hat sheriff cop lady that's trying to do the right thing. Like, fine. Like, fine.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she feeds them.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. We both know I do a better job of this than you.
Like, the character conflict is cool. You know what's funny? It's like, I was just writing a script, okay? I was just writing a script because I'm working on a video about what I think will be the most important scene in Doomsday, maybe the most important scene in the history of Marvel. And I'm talking about Loki and Steve. Little teaser for you. That video is pretty cool. But one of the points I was making in that video was I was like going back to the Russo brothers catalog, and the scene that comes to mind is the scene when Cap goes to confront Bucky in Civil War after they find him, after Sharon finds Bucky and he confronts him. It leads into that crazy action set piece, right? And the thing about that scene is it's incredibly emotional. You're getting character stuff and plot stuff. Like he's finding out about if Bucky actually did the bomb. There's a catharsis, so it's like there's an emotionality happening, and we're pushing the plot forward. Oh, and guess what else? It's also fucking awesome. It's a fucking action set piece, bro. You know why? Because it's comic books. Because it's comic books, dude. So like I'm seeing 2/3 of that formula here on display. Story beats, character stuff seems great. Where's the comic book shit? Where's the action? Like this is truly not it if this is all the show is. Wow.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior. You're old.
Is the Ebony and Ivory, buddy cop, like old vet, young replacement? Like, are those tropes enough to draw a bunch of people to this superhero show? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that enough to draw folks to this superhero show? I just don't think so.
You're tired.
Get a shot of the lantern.
Your time is up.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
August is a good release window. I don't know, guys. This like, I'm a little disappointed. You know, and I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe enough folks will get down with this. I mean, people fucked with Penguin, and Penguin built its thing over time. But again, I feel like even Penguin was more comic booky than this. You know, at least at least the Penguin show felt right to a Gotham City crime boss kind of a thing. You know, and even that show I didn't love because I wanted fucking Batman, dude. You know, like what's a fucking Penguin without Batman? Some fat guy from Jersey that works with the mob? Fuck out of here. I don't care. So, dude, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? And then they're making fucking jokes about the squirrels?
Have you ever talked with the other Lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
So this must happen before Guy Gardner, who's 60 fucking years old, is the Lantern in Superman? What are we doing here? I'm the only human. What about Guy Gardner, dude? James, you cannot possibly be fucking up the canon like 4 projects in with your first TV show. That cannot actually be that hard to do this. Like, what? All right. DC's fun. See you later, James. Holy shit. Are you surprised? I am a little surprised. Trev says, it feels like Reacher season 1, same elements, and maybe this takes place earlier in the timeline. Fair. And it does have that Reacher vibe for sure, which that in and of itself is good. You know, that in and of itself is good. But again, how would then the Lanterns recruit you're telling me they're going to recruit a 60-year-old Hal Jordan? They're going to wait a minute, Trev. There is something confusing about that, right? Like I'm not crazy, right? Because how old is Hal Jordan? We have other Let's not think about it too much. Did we talk about James leaving? Yes, we did. We did a whole segment on it. Yeah. Looks mid-50s here. Yeah, I mean, he is 60 years old, but he looks mid-50s. But my point is, like, Guy Gardner's also old AF. So you have to explain how after this 50-year-old or 60-year-old Hal Jordan is recruiting the new one with this guy, that we then get the next recruit is an even older, even grumpier Guy Gardner. You know? It looks lame. Yeah, it looks a little bit lame. Should we tweet about this? You know what? The best part of this is, chat, and I don't want to, you know, bring the vibes down or whatever, but the best part of this is we don't have to stream tomorrow now. And I do need to take the day off. I was maybe going to stream because I was excited about Lanterns, but it is mid. That damn, dude, that is some lame shit. I don't even want to watch that. I don't even want to watch that, dude. I don't want to watch that. Fucking 68 hours of these fucking idiots groaning and moaning out in the West with a bunch of fucking hillbillies. God damn it, dude. What the fuck? We got Ion. You got fucking Sinestro Corps. Jesus! Orange Lanterns, Red Lanterns, Star Sapphires, Black Lanterns, White Lanterns. What the fuck? Oh, god damn it. Oh, god damn it. I was having such a good day. Fuck. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. No. Hang on. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back now. RG says, if we're really leaning into True Detective style approach, there's a good chance we'll be dealing with two different timelines. But yeah, still got it? Huh? But yeah, still got it. I don't know what that last part says, brother. Two different timelines? Really? I hope not. Be a hell of a way to build up your canon. You know? Yeah. Okay. So any last minute thoughts on the Lanterns trailer? Because I do not like it. Maybe it will get better. Maybe there'll be more Lanternish constructy stuff in the next one. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of footage in that trailer, guys. This did not seem like they were only selecting from one episode. This seemed like it was from throughout the series. And there's not a lot of green in this shit. Like, it's like actually hard to find green in the frames of the Green Lantern trailer. So I'm not, I am not that impressed. Okay, anyway, let's move on. We got a whole bunch of other stuff to get into today. A whole bunch of other stuff to talk about. Whew, you know what? We're gonna have to skip some stuff. I'm gonna skip the Marvel Rivals story, guys. I'm gonna skip the Marvel Rivals story. Maybe we'll add it to the rapid fire stuff at the end of the stream, because I did not expect that trailer to leak, and I did not expect it to take a half hour talking about the other thing and then this and that, and oh my god, crazy. Okay, can we talk about something that's actually awesome? Can we talk about a franchise that doesn't suck ass, that's actually, you know, performing well? Its audiences are engaged. They have big plans for the future, and we're actually pumped. Can we do that? Can we do that? When does Invincible come out? Couple of weeks, dude. Couple of weeks. And that's going to be fun. Okay. Here we go. Hang on, let me... Man, generational cortisol spike. Career-ending cortisol spike. Chat mogged me so hard. I don't know what I'm saying. So Game of Thrones fucking killing it. And maybe you saw the story that came out yesterday about the Game of Thrones movie. Chat, did you see this story? So this is so damn cool. It's another fun one of those things where we sort of heard this whispered on the wind, and then it turned out to be true because, believe it or not, the last time on Dragon Ball Z on Monday's stream, I did literally bring up the Game of Thrones movies. Do you guys remember? I actually also brought up that it would be Aegon's Conquest, okay? And so, to my surprise, that was confirmed the very following day, yesterday on Tuesday. Okay, so let's look at this article here from Tatiana Siegel over at Page 6 Hollywood. This is her breaking it down. Now, this article is behind a paywall, and I'm not going to pay for it, but she says here, Game of Thrones movie in works after acclaimed screenwriter submits prequel script to Warner Bros. Okay, so in the initial report, because there's actually multiple reports that came out yesterday, it's kind of fun here. In the initial report, it said that Aegon's Conquest spin-off in the works from the Batman 2 writer. Oh, wait, is this the one about the show? Hang on. Okay, yes, sorry. We're going to go to this one. No, this is the first one. Sorry. So this was the thing that came out yesterday, and people were talking about it. It's Bo Williams, the Dune-sized Andor type of Aegon's Conquest thing, and then there's a TV series. So this report here, this thing I just showed you guys, this article here, this came out earlier this year. Or no, this came out 2 years ago. I'm losing my fucking mind. We're professional streamer over here. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. This came out 2 years ago. The point I'm trying to make, if you would just shut the fuck up, chat, is that yesterday it was reported that there's going to be a movie based on Aegon's Conquest, but several years ago there was a report that there would be a series based on Aegon's Conquest from the Batman 2 co-writer Matt Tomlin. Now, here's the deal. On the one hand, this is just super cool, and if we were to take what Tatiana's report was yesterday at face value, then it means that they are developing an Aegon's Conquest movie. One of the writers on the Andor show, because I think he wrote a couple of the episodes. This guy also worked on other prolific television as well. Bo Williamson. He is a great writer, and he is developing this Dune-sized feature film, which is going to cover Aegon's Conquest, okay? However, when this report broke, there were other people like The Wrap that brought up that a couple of years ago, there was a series in development from Matt Tomlin, the guy that's, I mean, I like this guy, this Tomlin guy. He's a writer with on the Batman movies. He's very active on social media. He's done a lot of really good work as well. Apparently, he's been working and developing a HBO TV series about Aegon's Conquest for a couple of years. So that is the official reporting. I'm going to speculate, though, because just looking at this, okay, and reading the tea leaves here, we know, and we've been talking about for some time, that Thrones has wanted to do movies. They've put some episodes into theaters in a limited run, I think towards the end of the original series, and there were even discussions of maybe doing the last season as movies directly in the theaters. I remember reading those reports. Ultimately, they decided to just make it like a shorter season of 6 episodes and whatnot, right? But the point I'm getting at here is we can look on a long enough timeline and see how HBO has been developing content for the Thrones IP. And they have clearly a lot of ideas and a lot of different projects that they want to do. There's a ton of other things, like the Arya Stark show, the Jon Snow show, all kinds of things that have been rumored for a long time. And it's also obvious that they want to do something with theatrical. So as I look out at the entertainment landscape right now, and I look at what they have been developing with a television series done with a really, really good writer, and a new massive movie done by another really good writer, I can't help but think that there could be a synergy there. And that what they're actually cooking is a hybrid model similar to what was first rumored for the Game of Thrones original series. Because remember, what they thought was, and this, they ended up not doing this, but they thought, years and years and years of being the biggest show on television. If we put the finale for this thing into the movie theaters, it would be some of the biggest movies ever, and people would love it, right? So that's always been something they've considered. And I think there's a chance here that what they're actually going to do is create a series that will tell somewhat of the prelude leading into Aegon's conquest. And we'll see them probably, come in and maybe even position on Dragonstone and begin to, send word out to the kingdoms of Westeros or whatever. But then the actual conquering would be this massive, like Dune-sized, like 3-hour-long epic film. And I got to tell you, look, we don't know that. Maybe it's just one or the other, right? Like maybe it's one or the other. Robert's Rebellion is actually a play right now that they're developing as well. So maybe they would just do one or the other. But I think there's a real opportunity here. I think there's some reasons to believe that HBO would take this approach. And I personally think this would be mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Okay? And it shows, not to always make it about how much Star Wars has failed, but I do think Star Wars has failed. And in certain moments, it's important to show the big difference between what Star Wars is doing and what these other franchises are doing. Star Wars is literally putting out a movie in a couple of months from now that is a side story of a show that has also like kind of fallen off. And so like Star Wars, it's sad. It's sad to see this because, the Super Bowl trailer thing happened. There's a lot of backlash to it. Some people tried to say that was all orchestrated or fake or whatever. But then there are analytics companies basically confirming that Disney knows it was a bad trailer and it didn't do what it was supposed to. It ranked very low in engagement. And there are reports out there that people inside Lucasfilm are somewhat panicked about why there's no hype for this movie film. And in fact, some of the articles talking about this reference Sean Levy's movie as a sort of thing where they're saying like the Levy movie will be the real thing that changes the franchise and breathes new life into the franchise. And a lot of people are concerned about Mando Grogu. So they're almost like hedging their bets, by sort of telling us like this one's not the one, but the one is coming. And it's just sad. It's sad. They're like a lol cow. They don't understand at all how to do this. It's not epic at all to do Mando and Grogu's side mission with Jabba's son. It's just not. Frankly, even Sean Levy's movie with a side story about a starfighter pilot bringing a young kid to Rey, not good enough. Not epic enough. Not cool. What's Thrones doing? Thrones is going to take one of the most significant parts of its entire lore at the height of the Targaryen power with the biggest dragon we've ever fucking seen. We've only ever seen his skull. And we've seen one of the other dragons that the sisters rode in Hot D, and it's massive. Okay? You're talking about like probably the biggest dragon ever put into a movie. Like legitimately, probably the biggest dragon ever put into a movie. And they're going to make that their movie. So I ask you, and it's an obvious question, like which one is more intriguing to the fan base? To go watch the Mando Grogu side story film or to watch Aegon's fucking conquest, dude? Oh, what about the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon? That's a good point, actually. That one might be bigger. Like, guys, this is crazy. So look, on the one hand, it's like, holy shit, Game of Thrones hitting a stride. This Dunk and Egg show out of nowhere, massive numbers, 24 million global views each episode worldwide. Holy shit, dude, they're smashing it over there. Hot D comes out in June. Hot D looks like it's going to be super fun. They got the sauce. They've got motion. And now we're hearing that we might get a full-on Game of Thrones movie. Aegon's Conquest? Dude, I think Thrones is doing it the right way. Thrones is actually doing it the right way. You know, when we watched last week, we watched a little video with Sony CEO Tom Rothman, and he talked about scarcity. And the trouble with scarcity when you're franchising is like you want to franchise, you want to make more. And Thrones has the same thing. They've got a ton of stuff in development. But they have 2 shows running right now. One just came out, and it's like a low-budget show that's smashing. And the other show is this massive, big-budgeted dragon show that's pulling big numbers. So Thrones is showing you the value of scarcity and showing that you can really engage the fan base with more quality, less quantity, and still hold them over and make them feel really, really good. You know, it's funny, like I was thinking about Marvel a little bit in regards to this. And, you know, I don't know that they're going to stop making Marvel shows, like at all. Like Disney Plus shows will probably still exist, but I can't actually imagine being really, really excited for a Disney Plus show, period, because it seems like they'll never be like the movies. Like they'll never like go for it. You know? And I just think that like Marvel's showing you how to do it the wrong way. Star Wars showed you how to do it the wrong way. Thrones, maybe they got lucky a little bit and some of the other shows just didn't come together, but like they're showing you the right way to do it. And as a Thrones fan, I'm so excited, dude. I think in a couple of years' time, going to see that movie would be hype. I hope they actually pull this off with the series and it's like this industry-changing way to do streaming and have it matter, and the both are very successful, and we break open this door and there's this whole new way to maybe utilize streaming and theatrical together, you know? I have high hopes for it. I think it's really cool. So what do you guys think, man? Chat, what do you think of this? Aegon's Conquest? Thrones is dope? Are we a Game of Thrones channel now? Is everybody just into Thrones now? Are we a Game of Thrones channel now? I'm hyped for Thrones again after Night of the Seven Kingdom. Absolutely. The last time I was really excited for Disney Plus show was Loki. Yeah, same. Thrones is the new Star Wars. I think it could be. I think it could get there. I've never seen it. What? You've never watched Thrones at all? Wow. A Night of the Seven Kingdom is kind of Mando season 1. Yeah, I could see some similarities there. Yeah. They're telling us these numbers for Night of the Seven Kingdom, but so far week 3 has yet to chart, which is interesting. Yeah, well, that's because the numbers they're giving you combine HBO viewership and all the other streaming services for other regions, right? So they're like combining all of the numbers. 6 years in recovery, sober from alcohol. These streams have helped me, Josh, in a way Josh will never understand. One day at a time. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And keep on going. One day at a time. Absolutely. Brick by brick, baby. Yes, it's absolutely worth watching Game of Thrones. I agree. I think Game of Thrones is great. I mean, it's mature content. Some of it's a little too much. Night of Seven Kingdoms, I think, strikes a nice balance with it. Thrones has this incredible ability to like kind of really rip your heart out, man. I think that's really what it's known for. So, Trev, that's a great question. Cavill for the Conqueror would be great, but there are rumors suggesting that Cavill is going to play Damian Blackfire in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms next season as a cameo, which would also be fucking awesome. I mean, Damian Blackfire's a really cool character. Obviously, he's no Aegon the Conqueror, but really cool character. Actually wields Aegon's sword, which is cool. But, yeah, man, I would love that, but I don't think so. I think Cavill probably does that cameo, but that's a great question. Who would we cast as Aegon? Brother, I almost feel like Lee Pace is the guy. I feel like Lee Pace could be a great Aegon the Conqueror, dude. Ooh, maybe I'm just stuck on this Thrag thing here, but like, yo. Lee would go hard. I think so. I feel that way, yeah. RDJ? I guess, yeah. I guess RDJ could do it. Charlemagne? Timmy C? Oh, sorry, Timmy C. This one ain't for you, dog. This one ain't for you. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, no, you're not the conqueror. Sorry. Gerard Butler, yo, that's a great choice. Yo, Gerard Butler, we're cooking. That could be really cool, dude. Aegon should be around 30, right? I don't actually know. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. How old is Aegon in the movie? Let's find out. How old was Aegon when he conquered the Seven Kingdoms? 27 years old. Here's a picture of him here. Dude, Lee Pace, I think, could really pull this off. Here's a picture here. Huh. Yeah. This is going to be dope, bro. Oh my God. And you know what's crazy too is like, dude, people love dragons. Like that dragon, How to Train Your Dragon live action thing. That thing made like $600-700 million, didn't it? Like people love that. People love dragons, bro. Like this movie will be spectacle. It'll have the story. It'll have cultural urgency. It's the perfect formula. What was I just asking about here? What was my brain? What did I just? I was going to look something up. God damn, the brain. The ADD is strong today, man. Oh, how much the Dragon movie made. Let's see here. How much money did How to Train Your Dragon live action make? I'm going to guess 630. Holy shit, 636. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, man, look, at the end of the day, you know, we're the Den of Nerds. We're the Nerd Vengers. We're the nerdiest motherfuckers on the internet. And Marvel Cinematic Universe kept us fed for a long time. You know, real talk, there's haters. It had a fall off. I totally get it. But really, the MCU cooked like nothing before it. And it continued to cook in ways that nobody else has really been able to replicate. However, Thrones is cooking. And in a world where Marvel is kind of teetering a bit and there's questions there, Thrones has done some really good shit. And I'm quite excited to see the next couple of years of Thrones stuff. And how far can this go? How far can this go? How big could this thing get? Because look, the other thing that's cool here is Thrones is not a bad gateway drug into Warhammer. That's right. I said it. They're both kind of dark. They both have some fucked up shit. They both have morally gray characters. There's not a lot of like clear cut good guys in either one. So, you know, the more popular that Thrones gets, the more of a runway there is for live action Warhammer. I'm here to watch you get spicy with the scoopers, says Blancos C777. Well, that's nice. I don't know what you're talking about, though. The scoopers and I are on incredible terms. We love each other. We smooch. We kiss. We, you know, tuck each other in at night. And there's no conflict there. There's no bad blood. We all love Marvel. We all give each other credit and appreciate each other and lift each other up. It's something like a brotherhood, really. But thank you, either way. There's no precedent for this movie. You could argue Seven Kingdoms could have been a movie, but I don't know what Aegon's story. Do a trilogy. Do piecemeal. I don't know. It could be a trilogy. They could be doing several movies here, but don't you see how if it's a show that then leads into the majority of the conflict, that's the formula. That's how you tell a really big epic story with a lot of character build up. And then also have spectacle and have it in a condensed version. You know? Show first. That's not been reported. I'm speculating that could happen. Mostly because I think it would be awesome. But, yeah, nobody's reporting that. The official report is that HBO is developing a series as well as a movie with incredibly good writers on both projects. That's what's officially out there. I'm kind of drawing the conclusion that perhaps this is a hybrid thing. Paul from Heavy Spoilers said it could be a trilogy. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I would imagine it absolutely has enough material to be a trilogy, and maybe they want to do that. Dude, I'd love a trilogy, man. I'm all about trilogies. Star Wars used to make trilogies. You know, not to keep shitting on Star Wars, but that shit is dead, dog. Oh my God, you poor Star Wars fans. They used to make trilogies, and ones that didn't have Rey in them either. So, you know. Yeah. Epic as nuts, indeed. Indeed. Okay, I think that's a good stopping point on that segment there. I'm genuinely really excited, man. I really think Thrones has done a great job of getting back on track and exciting fans, and it also proves this really important thing, because in the modern day and age, like, fans are just so toxic, and and I'm sure a lot of companies and you know, people that work in these franchises look out there and they're like, God damn, these people are awful. Oh, they hate everything. That fucking Josh, he's so toxic. And you're right. But situations like this prove that people ultimately, even people like me, do want to just enjoy the content. I ultimately just want to enjoy it. It doesn't have to be perfect either. And, you know, I think somebody brought this up the other week. Thrones hasn't been perfect. That season 2 of House of the Dragon was weird. The Conley, beef with George is worrying. It's not like they're flawless. Obviously, the original series ends in a fucking terrible way. And yet, like, they kind of just take it on the chin, keep developing good shit. They take it serious, and they try to give the fans what they want. And over time, it's just there's been enough of that that's acceptable to outweigh the unacceptable. And the fans are still having a good time. So it's like, you don't even have to be perfect. You know what I mean? Just got to kick us when we're down. Star Wars. Yeah, I do, Rossi. And it's nothing personal. It's like an acceleration thing. It's like, I know you will be happier if you just let it go. If you put it to the back burner and say, this was a thing that I loved, I'm out. I will occasionally check back in and get a little nostalgia bump, but like, I am out. I'm going to go watch Invincible. I'm going to go watch Game of Thrones. I'm going to go get into Warhammer. I'm going to find a new hyperfixation that is better. And I'm trying to help. I really want to help. You know, we got into nerdy shit because we wanted to have fun. We wanted to have a good life filled with things that make us happy, that are mystical and mysterious. Adventures and characters that give us like a waking meditation. You know, escapism into pop culture, I think, is a fascinating thing. I don't think you fully escape. I think you still take a part of you into it. And I think it's like a meditation. When a good story and a good movie, just like, you're just there, you're transported, truly. I think it's incredible. I think it's a high that we all had at one time, and we've been chasing ever since. And so I just like to point out when I think certain companies, franchises, pieces of content are doing a great job at that, maybe then it's worth a little more investment from you, right? So there you go. Just go start One Piece. You know what's funny about One Piece? I actually kind of want to talk about the Oda thing with the One Piece treasure. Even though I don't talk about One Piece at all. I kind of want to talk about that shit. I think what Oda did with that, I think it's actually amazing. So should we talk about that? Are you guys interested? Invincible Season 4 Thrag teaser out on YouTube. Yes, and it is so cool, dude. But unfortunately, we can't watch it on stream because Jeff Bezos will take all the ad revenue from this, make me go through a bunch of hoops and ladders. They're terrible with the trailers. Okay, let's talk about the One Piece thing. Let me pull this up for you because it's fucking awesome, dude. Okay. This is cool. Fuck, all of these are... Wow, okay. All right, there we go. So I want to talk a little bit about this really cool thing that just happened with One Piece. Now, I don't really talk about One Piece a lot. I love the live action version. I've watched like 400 episodes of the anime, and I like One Piece. Like, I get it. Love the live action show. Went in, watched a whole bunch of arcs in the anime. I get it. I understand why people love Luffy. I understand the depth of the storytelling. It's an incredibly fun shonen adventure. It's really cool. I like it. But I don't really like cover it, right? I'm excited for the next season of live action, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. That shit's going to be dope. But the thing that's kind of interesting about One Piece, I think, for even maybe Marvel fans or like just nerds that aren't really into anime, is that the One Piece story has the biggest hidden spoiler in maybe the history of stories. The entire show is predicated on finding the One Piece. And what the One Piece is has never been explained. There have been some hints and some lore added to it, and it has to do with like the world kind of like turning upside down and like crazy stuff that it gets into the weeds of like the lore of that actual world. But the truth of the matter is nobody knows what the One Piece is. And in a world where we basically know like a ton of the plot of Doomsday, in a world where, you know, we know leaks and rumors and things for like almost every project that comes out, it is unique that there's this big secret which will define the series in retrospect, and nobody knows what it is. And not only that, Oda, the mangaka that came up with this story, came up with these characters, and created the One Piece, he has done something absolutely incredible. So Oda actually wrote down on a piece of paper what the One Piece actually was, and he has placed it inside a treasure chest at the depth in the ocean sea floor of 651 meters. He actually did this. This is real. And he has currently revealed it. And so potentially right now, there's a ton of people trying to find it. People are in the real world actually looking for the One Piece. That's fucking cool, dude. Like, that's really cool. It's also crazy because, like, let's say, you know, knock on wood or something, like something tragic happened and Oda passed before you could write the final chapter. Then we would know that the truth of what it was somewhere out there. And that's actually weird because that's kind of like what happens in the anime with Jolly Roger, right? So, or maybe it's not the Jolly Roger's is the ship. Who's the guy that was before the main pirate dude? I forget his name. But so this is fucking cool, dude. Like, this is like really cool. And I wonder if anybody's going to find it. Apparently, there are people out there that have already narrowed down where they think it could be, but they will need to actually like spend resources, call James Cameron, like get Aquaman involved, and like get to the bottom of the ocean floor and actually like find this thing, retrieve it, pull it up, open it, and then will they tell us all what it actually is, right? So this is really cool. And I think the only reason this matters at all is because this manga has been so good. It's been going on for like 30 years, 1,200 episodes, and the manga is still going, and they're going to have a final chapter where it is eventually revealed what the One Piece is. But it's one of the last actual mysteries in pop culture, matters to millions and millions of people. I just think it's so cool that like Oda put it actually put it at the bottom of the ocean. So I just want to talk about this. I wonder, what do you guys think of this, man? And does it do anything for you? Does it get you excited? Does it make you want to watch One Piece? Does it make you want to check out the live action show? Yeah. Oda is trolling us. It's actually an empty chest. Well, that would be actually amazing if it was like "fuck you" or something written on it, like "I'll never tell" or something. That would be cool as well, honestly. But yeah, I'm not even into One Piece, and I think it's cool. I think it's pretty cool, man. You should cover One Piece. Oda is such a great steward of the brand. I wish others could follow his lead. Well, maybe we'll cover the live action when that comes out. Again, probably in just a couple of weeks. You know, maybe we could do that. Because I'm definitely going to binge the shit out of that, man. I really enjoyed that first season. That season broke the curse. It broke the anime live action curse. And I'm really happy for the guy that plays, not Sanji. Is it Sanji? Ah, man, it's been a while since I watched it. The guy with the swords. He has been in a ton of live action anime remakes for Netflix, actually. Before he got this gig, he had done a whole run of them. Zorro, thank you. And that guy loves anime. He always wanted to make it happen, and it never worked. But this one did. This one did. This one broke the curse. Anime fans accepted it. Worldwide people enjoyed the show. Live action One Piece broke that curse, and I feel really happy for that Zorro guy. Also, he actually plays the One Piece card game. He actually plays the One Piece card game, which is an incredible TCG. I love the design of that game. I have a bunch of the cards. I like the One Piece game. So, yeah, we just talked about Game of Thrones a little bit, how they're kind of killing and having their moment. Oda and One Piece, right up there with Thrones, man. I mean, I don't know how many millions of books they've sold, but it's a lot. And, yeah, I'm excited. So, within the next couple of years, you know, maybe you're just like, that sounds fine, but like, whatever, Josh, I'm really not into it. That's cool. No worries. But you'll probably hear maybe within the next couple of weeks, and definitely within the next couple of years, me speaking about One Piece more, and maybe even the actual big spoiler of what the One Piece really is. It's a super big deal for people. Definitely. More than 600 million copies sold? My God. Holy. He stopped at events too. Oh, he's topped at events too. Yeah, I heard he did well in a couple of events. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Good for him. Seriously, that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. All right, any other comments? Any other comments, questions? Should we move on to some Marvel stuff? I feel like y'all want me to talk about some Marvel stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't Marvel today. I haven't been following One Piece for years, but I have my own theories about what the One Piece is. Yeah, some people think it'll just be friendship. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like somebody gets down there, opens up the chest, and it's like, the One Piece is the friends we made along the way. Let's start with Heather again, season 2. My God. My God. You fucked me up on that one. No, it's not friendship. Oda said One Piece is an actual treasure. I know. Although I think he actually changed it. I think originally it maybe was going to be friendship, but he does actually start to change it eventually. The trailer for The Boys drops tomorrow? Oh, I bet that'll shit all over the Lanterns trailer. Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Am I a mutie? Did I mute? So sorry. Bless you, thanks. Turn mic back on? Okay, I will. Okay, I will, but not because you told me to. Shit. All right. I sneezed the mic right off. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So Daredevil Born Again season 1 kind of fucked me up and broke me in some ways as a Marvel fan. Part of the reason why is because there was this big effort from Marvel and the Hollywood trades to say that the original version of the show that they were going to make sucked ass, but don't worry, because they changed it and it's going to be so much better. You guys probably remember this, right? Like, you know, some of the actors even were talking this up. It was a big narrative thing out there, and I bought into it. I was blinded by the copium, and I thought, man, the show's going to be the one. Disney Plus is kind of cheeks. You know, Loki was cool. Parts of WandaVision were fun, but like, for real, this shit is kind of cheeks. Well, maybe Daredevil will be the one. Maybe they figured it out. And then we watched it, and it was cheeks! Oh my God! It was so bad. I really didn't like it. And had like a generational crash out. However, they end the season in such a way that, you know, to my surprise, I was actually interested in where it could go from there. There were a lot of set leaks of them filming season 2 at that time, which were probably leaked intentionally, to be honest with you, to get us excited because, yes, it looks really cool. The stuff they're doing in season 2 is really cool. So I always was like, yo, this next season is going to be the one. I'm really, really excited. Well, how about this? How about this? Got a little update here. Got a little update for you here, chat. Says here, Heather Glenn will reportedly have several psychological scenes in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Oh, fuck, bro. No. This makes me want to not watch the show. I'm going to be honest. Like, it legitimately makes me want to not watch the show. I think I told you guys that I would do watch parties for this show, but I swear to God, guys, we might not make it through the whole season, and it might be the actual last watch party. Like, it might be like the actual last watch party. I know I've said this before, but like this one might really be the moment where I break down and I'm like, never again. And for a lot of you guys, you're probably like, who cares or whatever. It's like not that big of a deal. Like, you know, she's fine. You're wrong. She's not fine. She is one of the worst characters ever put into a superhero show. She is offensively destructive to Matt's psyche, which is wild because she's a psychologist, but there is something maybe there if you really think about it. I fucking hate this bitch, dude. I fucking hate this bitch. Like, I hate this character. And the idea of her psychoanalyzing a single person in the second season makes me want to rip my face off. So I am legitimately really triggered by this, man. I am really fucking bothered by this. Now, to be fair, there's ways where this could make sense. And I've always said that, like, the way you fix Heather is you just make her, like, actually evil. Like, just make her overtly evil. She was actually a double agent of the Hand or some shit that was there to fuck with Matt and to make him weak and all this sort of stuff. It's almost like a psyop of, like, using psychology to break down the powerful male character. There's something there. There's something there, Marvel. Go with that. And then also have Kingpin smash her fucking face like he did that one cop. And then maybe I'm chilling. Like, for real. Maybe I could accept that. So I guess I'll give it a whirl and see how this character and how these scenes could hit me, and maybe it'll be okay. But my God, does this shit worry me? I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe it'll make sense when we finally see it, and I'm yapping for no reason. I'm super worried for no reason. But, yeah, I don't know. It feels like this is the first sign of the iceberg, you know, and I got to ring the bell. And I'm like, I feel like we should turn. I feel like that iceberg with that chick that was like, I saved myself. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. Like, can we move away from her towards others? That's my take. So anyway, what do you guys think of this? Like, am I overreacting here? You think it's going to be fine? Or is this like really fucking crazy? What do you think, man? What do you guys think? The Lantern teaser leaked? Yeah, we went over it, brother. We went over it. What if they retcon that she's like a Skrull, or, well, she was maybe Shakira and she's in Brand New Day 2? I don't know. Yeah, there could be something like that. Yeah. You're caught up in the sauce? Maybe maybe, man. But I'm deep in that sauce. Like it's all over, man. I'm back. Okay, welcome back. I think she might be a plot device to get a character to snap and become a villain. Ooh, okay. That could be really interesting. Yeah, that could be really interesting. Isn't she female muse? I've not ever heard that. I don't want that. I want her to be female dead character, preferably one that died off screen. So no, I don't think so. Really hope not. Please, God, no. The Exodus says with a $5 holla, she's an allegory for how people who dwell in psychology are actually more unhappy than people who treat problems like water under the bridge. Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Cool Bear says, if they don't kill her off in the first 5 minutes, I'm going to need therapy. Yeah, I might actually need therapy if they let this chick just run through this goddamn story like this. Real talk. Absolutely terrible. My bad. I thought that was something in the comics. It might be. I'm not familiar. I didn't even know Heather was a real character in the comics. Kind of hope that's not true. Brother, you already do? I don't know what that means. If Kingpin goes to therapy, she doesn't help him and she snaps her neck. Yes. So look, again, that could be really cool. Like there's a way to actually make this work. I just have my doubts. And I got to tell you, legit, I think it's okay to have those doubts. Like, we're being hyperbolic here a little bit, and maybe you're not as affected by it, but, like, legitimately, this is a fucking terrible character in a show that really pissed me off. I am legitimately upset that this character's gonna have more psychological scenes in Daredevil Season 2. Like, fuck that, dude. I'm seriously upset. Fuck that. And if Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is more ass, dog, I'm going to extend the Disney Plus boycott break thing where I'm not watching any of this shit. I'm going to extend that shit for the rest of fucking time. Like, I do not want that. I'm very angry about it. But, you know, you don't have to feel the same way, but that's how I feel. Give the psychology scenes to Bullseye instead. Yeah, I think that could be cool. I think that could maybe work, yeah. He Who Remains removed her from the timeline and Loki brought her back to help Doom. No! No! I just watched Daredevil series for the first time and I loved it. I can't believe they messed up Born Again. Yeah, I really feel like it was a super big letdown. I'm actually shocked at how many people went easy on that Daredevil show, but the reality is like a lot of people didn't watch it. Like it was just like odd how few people watched that show. Like truly weird. But I can't wait till Doom hands her the golden mask at the end of the show. See, Rossi, that's that shit, brother. That's that shit, man. Are there any psychologists in the comics anyway? Am I missing something? Not that's ringing a bell. You know, part of me thinks the guy that was the Spectre was a psychologist. I could be getting that wrong, though. Jessica Jones is a bigger deal than people are making out to be. I thought there would be a pop. I like Jessica. Huh? Oh, you mean for the show? I like Jessica, too. I mean, I just don't think that's really going to do a lot for most folks. You know what I mean? Like, Jessica Jones was great. I don't know how many people watch that show. And I think maybe the perception of her is not really what it is, right? Gandolfini's son being the Rose and Kingpin's secret unknown son is the reveal we need. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, yeah. Scott Lang is? What? Heather was also Tony Stark's girlfriend after Matt's in comics, so it's not a stretch at all, Rossi. She is in comics? It's no surprise Marvel Comics is falling apart too. Stop doing this. Kill these characters. Violently. It's fiction. It's fun. It should be fun. What you're doing is not fun. This is not fun. Okay, glad we're all on the same page. Fuck this character. The show better not fucking ruin everything we love. Fuck you. Oh, it's 80s Marvel? Oh, okay. Well, that sounds cool. So is she like this in the comic? Is she a psychologist in the comics? Wait, don't answer that. I don't fucking care at all. Okay, let's talk about a couple of other things that are going on. Let's talk about some other shit. Let's keep going. Here's another thing I'm fucking mad about. Fucking stupid ass Marvel. Hey, let's talk about some more Marvel news. So this is good news, but maybe there's some bad news in here as well. Finn Jones will reportedly return as Danny Rand in the MCU. He will also be teased in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. This is coming from Cryptic HD Quality. Yeah, so I believe this. I think this is cool. We've also heard some rumblings about this. It's cool to get Danny Rand back. And look, we first have to have a short discussion about Finn Jones and how bad the original characterization of Danny was. And then we then have to talk about, should he get a second chance? How are they going to do this? And also the fear of the baton passing, Colleen Wing, Iron Fist. We cannot have a white boy. They cannot let a white boy live. A white boy cannot be the master of Kung Fu with the Iron Fist. Can't have that shit anymore. That's fucked up. How dare you like it? You better not like it. I like it. So we're going to talk about that. So let's first talk about Finn Jones in the original show. How many of you guys watched the show? How many of you guys gave it a shot? How many of you guys gave the original Iron Fist show a shot? I gave it a shot. Back then, I was really into the Netflix stuff, right? And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm interested in Defenders. It'd be cool to check this out. And I guess what I would say is the show's not super great, but the worst part of the characterization, the worst part of Netflix Iron Fist was the action. Like the action. It was sloppy. He was not physical enough. He didn't look physical enough. He didn't move with intention in the same way. Like it was just, for a guy that's supposed to be like, he fought a fucking dragon and punched it through its heart and got the Iron Fist. It was just simply not good enough. So that part of it was bad. However, I don't think the performance or the portrayal was like, there was like completely irredeemable. I actually liked the sort of aloof, mystical surfer bro billionaire thing that was going on with Danny. And I quite liked how Mike Coulter and Finn Jones, their chemistry and that whole, ebony and ivory culture clash, these tropes have been around forever or whatever, but there's a reason that people like them. That aspect of it was great. I thought Finn Jones did great in that regard. To me, that's almost as important as the action. It's not as important as the action. The Kung Fu stuff is paramount. However, the Heroes for Hire thing, the Ebony and Ivory thing, is very, very important. And I felt like Mike and Finn actually did great at that. So, with that in mind, if you were to bring him back and he got a little bit more physically imposing, which, by the way, there are actually some shots of him. He got into the gym. He got into the gym, man. He got some meat on the bones. I'm actually proud of the kid. So bulked up a little bit. And if we get better martial arts folks around him, and he understands a little bit more of what's at stake and what the character should be, I have no problem with him coming back in. And just like a lot of things, I think the MCU could take this and make it even better. There's a way they could make it worse, totally. But I love it. I think this could work and be really, really cool, okay? So that's kind of like the basic take of this, but then we have to get into the worrying part here, which is that it seems like Marvel cannot let a white boy be the Iron Fist. In the Eyes of Wakanda show, I believe they make it... it's not a white guy in Eyes of Wakanda, right? Is it a chick in Eyes of Wakanda as well? I don't know. I didn't watch that shit. But I know in the comics, too, they tried to push Colleen Wing. I think there's a new Asian dude that is currently the Iron Fist right now. And all of these decisions spin out of a sensibility, a modern audience thing, that it's bad, that it was wrong think to have the white savior trope, or like the Danny Rand white boy becoming Kung Fu, like that's bad. We can't have that. I just got to tell you guys, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that consideration, all the fucking sensibilities, all this logical, all this stupid people like Heather that want to come up with a psychological reason as to why I can't just have fun. Let a white boy live. Let him be. You know, one of the things that's beautiful about the Heroes for Hire thing is that Danny is a clueless, aloof, privileged white dude. And Luke Cage is just a hard street dude. And their culture clashes in really fun, interesting ways. It's like we are afraid of our shadow with this race stuff. And yet everybody loved 48 Hours. Everybody loves Rush Hour. Like, what are we doing here? Stop trying to tie yourself up into knots to appeal to like 12 different weirdos that make a whole bunch of accounts on social media that tell you it's fucking wrong to let the white boy just be the kung fu master. No, it's kind of fucking cool, actually. It's kind of fucking cool. And by the way, Danny's origin is one of the darkest origins in all of comics. He's a boy. They crash in the Himalayan mountains. His parents are eaten by wolves to save him. And then he stumbles upon a mystical hidden city and is taken in, trained. He's that guy, happens to be pretty talented and becomes the Iron Fist. His story is fucking awesome, dude. So what are we doing? This whole modern sensibility and things must change for this, that, second, and the third. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. In fact, I strongly reject it. So if Marvel's really going to do this thing where Danny Rand can't be the Iron Fist anymore, it's just going to be one more thing that I fucking strongly push back on and think is stupid. And I thought at some level Marvel Studios was beginning to figure this shit out. I thought at some level Kevin Feige and these other people were realizing that some of these other people, although they might mean well, don't really get it. They don't really have it like that. And maybe some of the characters that have stood the test of time, that come from a different era, have something worth doing again, bringing back into the modern era. So, dude, I like this. I hope Finn Jones gets his love, gets his second shot. I want some Heroes for Hire stuff. I want the Ebony and Ivory thing. I want the culture clash. And I damn sure want this white boy to have a white boy summer. Like, I want him to be able to be Danny Rand. And I don't think there's anything fucking wrong with that. So there's the take. That's the news. Chat, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think of this Finn Jones Iron Fist thing? Man, Iron Fist is great. Danny Rand is great. Great character. You'll never convince me that Danny Rand is cool. The character's ass and never been interesting. Well, that's fine. I don't want to convince you. Like, if you don't like Danny Rand, that's cool, brother. Like, good on you. Good on you, bud. You're spitting facts, especially about Warhammer. Hell yeah, Matty Spice, my man. The Extra says we need the comic costume with Deadpool Spidey eyes. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That could be fun. Absolutely. I agree with you. Thanks. Like Finn better than Finn. Yeah, he won't be screaming Ray. That's for sure. I agree with you. Oh, dang. A lot of you guys agree with me. That's different. No, I think that a lot of us are just feeling this sort of way, man. And that's okay. It's okay to vocalize it. Like, it's like, will there be a few people that are like offended or whatever? Yes, but like those people kind of fucking ruined everything. And focusing on what they think about derailed the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So like, don't listen to them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like, literally, stop. Please stop. Honestly, I'm interested in the X-Men after status quo change in Avengers. Yeah, the X-Men's going to be cool. One of my favorite Namor runs is the Iron Fist and Namor illustrated by Jay Lee. Oh, that sounds cool. I don't know that I've ever read that, but maybe I'll check it out. I like Jay Lee's art. Please just change his haircut. You don't like the curls? You don't like the blonde curl? Do you hate my curls too? Shit. Matt will need Defenders to finally beat Kingpin. That could be cool. That could be really cool. He's got potential. I think he's got potential. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. And I just think I think with a character like Danny, you know, like some of this I'm being a little facetious, maybe a little performative, but at the end of the day, like, I actually do think if Marvel were like, no, we're just going to do Danny Rand Iron Fist. And yes, He is a white boy that became a martial arts master. A lot of people happen to love that character. So we're going to have fun with that character. You know, like we've got Shang-Chi. We even changed how you pronounce it. We care. Get over it. You know what I mean? Like something like that. I feel like, Josh, since the Doomsday announcement, you haven't liked much of Marvel content and only looking forward to Doomsday. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. But I think like when I consider that, and I consider my fandom, because I've thought about this, right? I've meditated on this. To me, it speaks to why the Disney Plus strategy was bad, not that I'm wrong as a fan. Meaning, you know, you're absolutely right. Like, I don't give a shit about a lot of this stuff, these shows, this consideration, this Marvel thing, that Marvel thing. Like, I just don't. I don't. Like, Wonder Man, don't care at all. But maybe instead of saying you're being a bad fan, maybe the company is being a bad company. Because they're not creating consistently the type of content that fans like me would continue to engage with. So, yeah, like in some ways, you're totally right, dude. But, like, what? I don't think that means what you might think it means. Come back into a Wonder Man stray, LMAO. Yeah, dude. I mean, you know, Wonder Man will probably catch a few more of those throughout the years, brother, you know? Hey, look, you know who you have to blame, Kendall? It's Kalen, dude. Like, he went so over the top with his support of Wonder Man that, like, now every time I get a little second there, man, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna dig that elbow in there, you know? I need Born Again to catch those strays as well, though. Dude, I mean, see the previous segment where I shit all over that show and talk about how dumb Daredevil was. Yeah, no, try, dude, hey, these hands are rated E for everybody, brother. You know that. You know that. I won't be triggered. By what? Wonder Man greater than Iron Fist? That's probably true. That show is pretty sloppy, yeah. Zach Krieger will run DC Studios. I don't know about all that, but... All right. So I'm glad we're all on the same page. Can a white boy live? Holy shit. All right, a couple other things we got to talk about here. You know what? Just one, and we're gonna get out of here. I've had a great time with you today. I hope you've had a good time too. We bullshit about a lot of stuff I didn't actually think we'd spend that much time on, but that's okay. So I hope you're entertained. I hope you're having fun and getting informed a little bit. The only other thing we're gonna talk about here is Star Wars. So we got to talk about Star Wars. There's a new report out there that's making the rounds that Obi-Wan Kenobi will be in Ahsoka Season 2. And that is true. And I actually talked about that in my original video. I actually was in the DMs a little bit with Star Wars Meg, and she was asking me about some stuff. I won't tell you what she asked me about because I don't know if she's talking about what she knows. But literally everything she asked me about, I was like, I literally put that in the first video. I think I put so much info into that first vid that people forget some of it. But remember, I called the mall show before anybody. 2 weeks later, they officially announced the mall show. I talked about a lot of things. I also talked about how Mando and Grogu is a fucking ass movie. Cheeks. Okay? So, look, the point is this. I mean, yes, Ahsoka Season 2 is absolutely cooking Cameo City. Now, as far as what the Obi-Wan scene is, I was led to believe it's something really cool beyond a flashback. It could just be a flashback to Mortis. I don't think so. In fact, the impression I got was that not only Obi-Wan, but Qui-Gon Jinn himself would also be present, and there would be something going on, some kind of connection to the Force Ghost, the Cosmic Force, something crazy like that, okay? So, look, this is making the rounds. It is Star Wars news. People are talking about it. And yes, it is true. And I think you should probably go back and watch that video I did last year because it lays out a ton of stuff. But the reaction to this news that I saw was sad. I don't know if you guys saw this story make the rounds or watch other people talk about it, or Star Wars content creators, maybe some of your YouTuber that you follow did a video about it or whatever. A lot of folks just said it was like dangling the keys, said it was a glub shitto, said it was a cameo this, cameo that. And I'm a bit concerned that all the stuff Dave is cooking and all the stuff that he thinks is really, really cool will probably excite me. You know, it'll probably make some of the more hardcore fans excited, but I'm actually afraid that a large portion of the fan base will reject it. And so, look, in this world, when you're in a leadership position, it is difficult to do something that is unpopular. There's a lot of pressure when you're in a leadership position to not be that person that made a decision that is completely unpopular, and then there's like a disgruntled fan base or a disgruntled populace or whatever, okay? But sometimes you have to do the right thing even if it is unpopular. And I guess I worry, right? I guess I worry that Dave will not be able to weather the storm of disappointed Star Wars fans and fans that call this out and just forge ahead with this model to repair it and to build it back to what it should be. Ahsoka's something they've been working on for a while. They're working on these movies. They're trying to figure this all out, but I worry that they're going to blow my mind in Ahsoka Season 2, and it's going to be really cool. It's going to functionally be everything I wanted the Filoniverse to be when it was first announced. It'll sort of be like a coming together of sorts, and it'll basically be wholesale rejected by all of you fans that somehow still think Andor is Star Wars, and you want more of that. Oh, how depressing to be staring at the possibility of a ton of incredibly cool fan servicey things that are very Star Wars. These are characters that really matter. And we've so cooked this bird, divided our own audience, and given different value that the fan base won't even celebrate it. You know? And so on the one hand, maybe this is our last hurrah. Maybe for Filoni fans, this will be like Christmas and oh my God and holy shit and amazing, and yet the wider audience will reject it and shit on it and demand something different. Or Dave realizes that despite Andor, despite a lot of other things that have been going on with Star Wars, that the formula that will work is to take it back to what it was with George and to do it the way it always should have been done. And I hope that he will be able to weather the storm of the perception and the disgruntledness of these fans, because ultimately, like, if you just do it right and build it the way that it once was built, I do think it'll be valuable and cool and people will fuck with it. But if you sort of try to chase the reaction, if you consider where the brand is at to be perilous, desperate situation, and you do a thing with a lot of effort that doesn't hit the way you thought, and you just pull the rug out of that and just say, okay, we're going to do this instead, I just really worry for that. Like, I just really worry for that. And I've gone personally from a place of being incredibly excited for Ahsoka Season 2 to being like, yeah, I think I'll like it, but I'm legitimately not looking forward to the coverage of it, to making content about it, and to the fan discussions that will happen when it is released. Which kind of sucks. So Chat. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think this will work? And do you think if Ahsoka season 2 packs them in, all the Jedi, it's so many cameos. Oh my God. So much cool glub shit-o. You think people will go for it? Do you think people will reject it? Did you notice how people responded to this Obi-Wan Kenobi news? What are your thoughts, guys? Have you heard anything else since the video? A little bit, but we haven't really gotten into like full details about some stuff. But yeah, I had a couple of things clarified. Ahsoka season 1 had cool shit, but it was executed. You probably meant like poorly executed or executed bad. Yeah, the ending was whack. The ending was whack. There's a lot of that show I like. The 5th and 6th episode are amazing to me. Like I love the Anakin episode. Although when you go back and rewatch that episode, it actually isn't as strong as you imagine. It's a weirdly paced episode, frankly, but it was so cool at the time. We were like, oh my God, fucking Anakin. 6 is a masterpiece. 6 is a masterpiece. I love episode 6. But then 7 and 8 are pretty whack. Yeah. Andor is a good show, but not good Star Wars. Yeah, I agree with that. Season 2 will be a fart in the wind. Oh no! Oh no! Is season 2 coming out this year? That's a good question. I don't think so. Some people think it will. I don't think so, guys. But if it does, it'll be later. It'll be later in the year. And also, I think Disney has some kind of conference thingy coming out soon where they're going to like announce shit. So maybe we'd get an update about Ahsoka season 2 release then. Yeah. Yes. Do you guys see what I'm saying, though? Missed a super chat earlier? Okay, I'll go back and go through all the super chats in a second here. Didn't Ahsoka season 1 come out September 2022? I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? That, like, where Star Wars is at right now and what Ahsoka is offering up and, you know, even the way the news is coming out and hitting people, it's not being received the way it should be. Unfortunately, Mando and Grogu looking like slop also hurts the cachet of Ahsoka because it all feels connected. It's just like, you know, again, look at what Thrones is doing, and sure, they're not perfect, they have problems, but look at what they are offering up. Look at those reviews, look at those numbers, 24 million an episode. Like, look at how they are executing, and then look at what Star Wars has done and where they're currently at. Like, it is a shocking disparity. My God. So definitely concerned, and I just don't know. I mean, what will that look like? What will it look like if the Star Wars coverage this year focuses on a movie that flops and a show that is also considered to be slop? Like, do you know what I mean? Did we watch the trailer yet? The Lanterns one? We did, yeah. We did. So I'll leave my thoughts there, guys. Unfortunately, just another kind of bad news, another kind of bad update about Ahsoka. Although there is a lot of cool stuff that's going to be in there. I don't like how it is being received. I don't like how this is going for Star Wars. I feel as though it's going badly, and I'm shocked at how badly it is going. Okay. Let's do an hour of Warhammer and let's call it a day. What do you think, guys? I'll get the points pulled up for the changes to the Warhammer armies. We'll go over how all of my armies were affected, what I'm going to do now. New Invincible trailer, and it is dope. Oh, it looks so good, but we can't watch it here because Bezos. Bezos will take all my ad revenue, block the goddamn stream. He'll be like, oh, no, I'm so glad you like Invincible. Fuck you, though. Oh, so this is why Adam was late. Yeah, probably. He's watching all that Warhammer stuff. Dude, Kendall, are you even paying attention to how crazy Tau is right now? So Tau is already in a great spot, winning a lot of tournaments, and they're about to get this new model, which is actually 2 models in a unit, and they're fucking busted, dude. It's absurd. It's absurd. I can't wait. I can't wait to get these little Twin Lance figures, dude. Behind on your painting? Yeah, I'm behind on painting too. I was building up some dudes last night. So I was building some intercessors. But didn't do any painting last night. Just building some shit. Paul Bettany may be Voldemort. Yeah, I heard that. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a good gig for Paul. I like him a lot, but I'm really not interested in that remake, to be honest. Yo, people are shitting on this Lanterns trailer, bro. Like, I'm just like perusing Twitter and people are shitting on this Lanterns trailer. Oh, jeez. Nah, I'm not, bro. The Tau are so strong right now, Kendall. It's crazy because so I've been practicing with my Dark Angels a lot because I wanted to do a tournament before going into 11th because I never played a tournament in 10th, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. I played a lot of games but never went to a tournament. But the updates that just happened at Custodes make them completely unviable. Dark Angels is kind of in a tough spot. They also got hit. My list got hit a little bit. Dude, Tau? Oh my god, dude. Bro, Tau is so strong right now. Like, and I think they're probably going to be really strong going into 11th as well. Stepped away for 30 minutes. What did I miss? I can't even tell you, brother. My brain has been not working great today. I don't know if you guys noticed. I like lost my train of thought several times today. I'm sorry. I thought I was prepared and in a good zone, but then John Campia started yapping, and it really fucked with my spirit. You know. Ryan P says, "Yo, Josh, finally able to catch a stream. Morning from Australia, mate. Loving the streams. Well, do me a favor, put a shrimp on the barbie and crack a Foster's, yeah?" I'm sorry if that offended you. It's probably pretty bad. All right, let's go up, read some of these other chats here. I think I missed a couple here. It's sad, but true. I still support Star Wars Theory, maybe, for my fix, but I've had to hold my headcanon with the OGs and EU and cherry pick from the Disney slop. To me, it's not dead. The story is just over. Let's go 40K. Wow. Yeah, CO. Totally get it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been checking in on what, you know, Theory's doing or whatever. Obviously, he's doing like Vader 2 and you know, doing the best he can with the state that Star Wars is in. But, dude, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Fuck, man. So crazy. She's Doom's One Piece. How dare you? A picture of Heather in the chest in the ocean. Why did I go back and read these chats? I think Daniel Radcliffe would be a good egg on. Daniel Radcliffe? No, he's too skinny. You put him in a case of armor, he's going to look like a skinny little turtle in a shell. No. Just got to kick us when we're down, says Rossi. I'm here to watch the Spice with the Scoopers. Again, I love the Scoopers. We're all very friendly. Like, dude, it's all a fugazi. Like, me and Alex are actually really tight, and it's all a facade. Like, we're just playing you guys. Like, me and Cryptic, homies. Known that dude forever. Know his real name. I was at his wedding. You know what I mean? So, like, we're tight like that. Shine, I know who Shine really is. I know all the accounts that she made. Yeah, you know, we go way back too. So, yeah. All this stuff, just for the cameras. The suit looks ass. Yeah, the suit does look ass. VFX must... Okay, I think I got everything here then. Like, the actor's too cool. Trash, but I'm not super James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn sucks. Okay, here's one from the Real Dark Boy. It says, I do not see a universe where any human being walks away from a job Gunn has right now. The head of DC movies, people really think he's just going to give it up? Seriously? Yeah, I agree with that, actually. And I do think, like, I do just think John's, like, just, I think his take is so wild. You know? If Gunn leaves, I think he will be painted as a flight risk, and he will only stay under the condition that things are his way or he's gone. Really? Really interesting. I mean, I do think he's risky in a lot of ways, but it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Gunn's a good fit in certain places. Yeah, I don't know. According to the Grace, you hate Gunn so much. What? Did Grace say I hate Gunn? Why would she say that? Campia thinks he is friends with Gunn and absolutely despises Paramount. Honestly, he's really campaigning for Gunn to leave because that's what he wants. Yeah, that's probably fair, yeah. Lobbyist to anyone who knows the Ellisons, Stan, look at what they did to CBS and TikTok, how much money and contracts are tied to both. I'm not exactly sure what you mean there, brother. We're about to be buried. Okay, I got that. I got that. Okay, I think I got all the soupies. I think I hit all the soupies. New Mall comic drop today, might be interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I hope you like it. I mean, I'm obviously not gonna check it out because Star Wars is dead and all that. But if you want to spend $5 on an overcosted comic that probably doesn't even really connect to that show, which won't even really be as good as we're hoping it'll be, then that's on you, brother. Hey, you could just buy Warhammer, but if you want to do all that, I mean, God bless. God bless. Shine is hot. I cannot confirm or deny. Shine a dude? You think Shine's a dude? I cannot confirm or deny. Josh, did you keep up with any of the Ultimate comics? Yes, although I am very behind. I actually want to I want to tear through the whole Ultimates line and then make a big video where it's like, I read 100 comics to catch up and now I'm gonna fucking yap about it. I know you hate horror, but would you play RE9? No, not really for me, man. I did play Resident Evil 4 though. That one was so technically good that I was like, even though I'm not into horrors and zombie shit, I was like, I'll fuck with this. But that's the only one I ever played. New comic book day is dry today. X-Men is bad. Absolute Superman Flash is mid. Oh no. My medium is in hell. Yeah, comics is in a bit of a tough spot, particularly Marvel for sure. But who knows, man? I mean, I know Chip Zdarsky is sort of planning his event and reset of it all, and maybe Denise Camp is cooking more with the Ultimate stuff after a reboot or something. We'll see. I feel like if you won't put your name behind something, who cares? Yeah, there's some truth to that. I think the anonymity, silent accounts and like anon accounts on the internet, I personally hate it. I do not trust people that do not show their face. I do not trust people that have an avatar. I do not. But that's a personal thing. That's just me. Like, I do not trust those people. But I also understand that there's a place for accounts like that, and that there's actually like a reason that you need people to be able to have anonymity if they want it. Do you know? But yeah, I don't fucks with them. But I'm like, it's fine. It is what it is. I'm not a real person. Well, I've seen you in the real world. Unless you got body snatched. So I'm pretty sure you're real. What do you think of Cryptic saying Doomsday pulls more from New Avengers than time runs out? Do you think he's referring to the New Avengers of the MCU, or do you think he's pulling from the New Avengers run that Hickman was talking about? He's probably talking about the New Avengers in the MCU. Still doing an MCU rewatch for Doomsday with wife and mother-in-law. First Avenger movie is next. They LOL'd at your comment about not Link Cap 1. They LOL your comment about not link cap 1. What does that mean? Did I miss something here? Not link cap 1? Am I missing something? Oh, not liking cap 1? Oh, I remember, because yeah, you said your grandma didn't like it and I said to put her in a home or something. Yeah. Sorry, grandma. Glad you thought it was funny though. He said Avengers / New Avengers run, which is pretty gas. Yeah, it's great. I think he means, look, the Avengers run was the weaker of the runs. The New Avengers was where it was at with the Illuminati, the Game of Worlds. The Avengers run was like Tony and Cap trying to plan for a world of Avengers, and then Cap realizes that they hit his memories, and oh shit, the Illuminati's doing crazy stuff. Like, the Avengers run was fine, but the New Avengers run is where the gas is at. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. Well, hey, look, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I had a lot of fun today. I thought it was a good stream. A lot of fun topics to get into. Of course, I disagree with John Campia, but what if he's right? What if he's right? Oh, my God. That will suck. I'll probably have to make a video and be like, John Campia was right. Fuck. And we'll find out. We'll see. The Landers trailer leaking. Never seen a leak so fast. It's terrible. Terrible trailer. Worst fears confirmed. Don't know how DC is going to move forward. Holy shit. Game of Thrones killing it. On the rise as other things start to crumble. Unbelievable, the motion they have. Really cool stuff. Couple of small Marvel stories to kind of just keep us talking and speculating. Worried about Heather. Worried about Danny Rand. You know? Talked a little bit about Star Wars. It was a full-ass day, man. It was a full trailer. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Much love. And as I always say, I hope you, that's right, you, have an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully this thing don't crash. It's been crashing. Did it crash? Are we good? Okay, cool. I'll see you later. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? I gotta tell you guys, I was scrolling a little bit before coming back for the like post-credit scene or whatever, and I'm just loving how much everyone is shitting on the Lanterns trailer. It's kind of amazing. There's a few people defending it, and yeah, I mean the acting and the chemistry looks fine, but what the fuck are we doing, dude? Paul's tweet was so good, I just retweeted it. He's like, I've always wanted, since I loved, he's like, since I loved Lanterns as a kid, I always wanted to see them drive around in a car in a desert. That's basically what it is. It's funny, man. It's funny. At the end of the day, there's a lot of good shit coming out. There's a lot of stuff we're excited about, and who knows, maybe the show will be alright. But yeah, I gotta call it like I sees it, man. This is not it. And I don't know. I'm shocked. I wonder if Campia is going to do a segment today and be like, I'd like to walk back a few of the things I said about Gunn, you know, because like this is crazy to me. But oh well, fuck it, crazy world. We just keep going, man. We just keep doing what we can, and we do it together. It's all about that love. Nerd Avengers together, strong, like a something with a lot of things that's also strong. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. All right, get on out of here, chat. Go enjoy the rest of your day. No stream tomorrow, but we'll be back at it on Friday. Should be really good. Do me a favor on your way out of here, actually make it 2 if you wouldn't mind. First off, open up your third eye. Do you ever wonder why I say that? Second of all, wash out your stinky butt. You ever wonder why I say that? See ya.